Akpabio's remarks unnecessary. 27 pro-Wike Rivers Assembly lawmakers are illegitimate, ITSGL says. I tell you, I remember, the pro-Wike group organized a birthday party for him in Port Harcourt, and Port Harcourt went agog. All the APC people were there, and people were wondering if Wike was still in PDP or APC. So, and then Akpabio went there to make some derogatory, is it derogatory or the kind of teasing Fubara and his supporters there in that party, and trying to say that those 27 lawmakers that defected are their people. So, but people have come out now to lash out at Akpabio. They didn't need to say that. But then let's get into the details. I'll hear exactly what they said. Okay, the Initiative for Transparent Strategy and Good Leadership, ITSGL, has criticized Senator Godswill Akpabio, the Senate President, over statements about the political crisis in Rivers State, as reported by Vanguard. The comments were made during a public lecture in Port Harcourt celebrating the birthday of Nyesom Wike, Minister of the Federal Capital Territory. So Akpabio acknowledged Honorable Martin Amewule as the Speaker of the Rivers State House of Assembly and recognized 26 lawmakers as legitimate members, and suggested that these lawmakers could act against Governor Siminalayi Fubara if he refused to cooperate, implying that courts could not stop their constitutional actions. Can you imagine? So the ITSGL viewed these statements as divisive and harmful to the state's stability. They don't care, especially Akpabio that talk recklessly. He talks before thinking. So the organization criticized Akpabio for taking sides in a sensitive issue and argued that his position as Senate President requires neutrality, stating that Amewule and his group, having defected from the PDP to the APC, were no longer valid members of the Assembly under constitutional provisions. Exactly. So the group also expressed concern about Akpabio's suggestion that the lawmakers might take drastic actions against the governor, interpreting this as a possible reference to impeachment, and accused the Senate president of fueling political instability and acting in favor of Wike, possibly as a reward for Wike's past political support. Yes. So ITSGL further condemned the tone of Akpabio's statement, describing them as inappropriate and damaging to his role as Senate President, and urged Rivers State residents to remain united behind Governor Fubara and resist any external influence that could disrupt peace in the state. So we are deeply perturbed, that is worried, that such a dangerous and unnecessary statement was made by the Senate President, especially when the matter he referenced are already in litigation. Martin Amewule and his associates are no longer legitimate members of the Rivers State House of Assembly after defecting from the PDP to the APC, he stated. Of course, the truth is that Akpabio is insensitive. The truth is that Nigerian politicians operate with impunity. The truth is that Akpabio would not say anything wrong with that, because how did he become Senate President without participating in APC senatorial primaries? How did he win Senate election? That is the question. So he would not say anything wrong. And even after being governor, he had a lot of issues with the FCC that is still cooler, and are using the state federal might to suppress all those cases. So he thinks he can say anything he likes. The same way Wike is operating, the same way the president is operating. All the APC people, the way they talk. Look at APC chairman in Edo State that is threatening fire and brimstone against anybody that will criticize the Pueblo, and has issued threat to life, has now also made another statement against the Ase Odalo, the PDP governorship aspirant in the past election. So that is their logo, and that is the same way Shomole talks, the same way all of them talk. Okay, they believe they have all the power on earth because they are the ruling power or ruling party to do anything and nothing will happen. They disobey court orders and nothing will happen. And so that is why he's very, very insensitive. He doesn't know that problem in River State can engulf the country if it's not well managed. And we thank God and we give kudos to Governor Siminala Fubara's personality. That is not a violent person. If he's a violent person like Wike, I don't think River State will contain anybody by now. So yes, ITSGL has absolutely condemned what Akpabio said in that party. They came there to do birthday for Wike, and rather than doing the birthday and walk away, they turned it to a political gathering. Of course, it was a political birthday, but then a Senate president is a Senate president for all the parties in Nigeria and all the people in Nigeria. He's the number 3 citizen of the country. So even if he has a ruling, is in the ruling party APC, he should mind the way he talk, because just like the president, he's not the president of APC, he's the president of everybody in Nigeria. The Senate president is not the Senate president for the APC alone, he's the Senate president for all the parties, political parties, and all the electorates in Nigeria. Number 3 citizen, if the president, the vice presidents are not there, he is the third person. So why will he be talking without reasoning? It's actually very, very unfortunate. Now that he has been cautioned, will he take the caution? Ooh, today, this is not the first time he's talking recklessly and never take correction. As obviously, nobody should answer Akpabio. As an Akwa Ibom man, I am ashamed of him and his attitude. Exactly. I'm telling you, so nobody should answer him. Another person said, to me, the Senate president was being point blank based on the reality on ground. Why would it be to you like that? Because you don't see through the lens of our electoral laws and constitution. Akpabio behaved like a small boy. He reasons myopic. Uh, his reason myopic is a pity. A Senate president will talk and behave like Akpabio. I'm telling you, he doesn't have the decorum of a Senate president. He doesn't have it. That is the truth. And if people talk, they will use DSS to start chasing people. This Tinubu government is disaster to all Nigerian citizens. What type of Senate president is this? Very arrogant, senseless, foolish, no understanding, always talking like a motor park conductor, and you guys still believe that there is future for Nigeria with all these kind of leaders that we have? It won't work. Someone who always speaks carelessly without knowing his status, unworthy of holding such a office, of course. Akpabio is not worthy of Senate president at all. His behavior and the way of talking, anyhow, is disgusting, not good at all. Is Akpabio human? Forget that fantastically corrupt man. Somebody they give him back. I'm telling you, Akpabio is a comedian and can't be taken serious. He acts anyhow, okay, but no problem. Hey, he's creating problems, no problem. Eh? Even if he's a comedian, when by taking that office, he needs to be more serious with his duties. Was the Ukrainian president was also an actor and an entertainer, but immediately he became the president of Ukraine, he started behaving, and he knew that these levels have changed. So it's not the first time we are seeing comedians or people who claim to be jovial, when you occupy a very critical office like that, we call it designated position, you really need to be very serious with what you are doing, otherwise you end up causing more problem. As always, Akpabio God's way has always been like that. I'm telling you. uh, does Akpabio represent a good and notable leader in Nigeria? He only knows and hears one thing: money. That is why no amount of wealth he has fraudulently amassed will satisfy him. Don't give up. They don't give up. So Akpabio is just there, but he needs to, mind the way he talks, knowing fully well that he's as good as the president of the country. So thank you for listening, and let's have a comment over this caution that has been thrown to Senator Akpabio.